If you watch a horse in the background, he's starting to get triggered in his mindless pacing that he arrived with. And then you'll see there's a moment where he has a different thought and he interrupts himself. This is a crucial part of the self-regulation. Now the horses are purposely turned out elsewhere. He's triggered to old panic modes. This was a very mild version compared to what he arrived with. But what we're looking for is, are there patterns in the location of where the horse offers the behavior? Can he interrupt his own fearful movement or so? So after interrupting his thought, helping him work through letting go of just fleeing because the horses were at the other end of the property, having kind of a reset moment. I find for a lot of horses, they're never offered the time to mentally work through what just happened, and instead they're critiqued for their concern or their fear and their reactive behavior. These horses who have become dysfunctional is recognizing what their triggers are. I don't know if you can see at the rear, but there's 2 mares processing right now. And, you know, one of the things that I find that people do is they get really critical, like, don't react to things happening in your environment, rather than recognizing that that level of dysfunction and the chaos is the horse pleading for, if you will, direction or support or communication to help him learn where to be in a moment where he can't find it on his own. And I think if more times than not, if us humans, instead of starting with, I don't want my horse to X, Y, and Z, we recognize the unwanted behavior and said, how can I help my horse work through this moment? There's the sigh. What can I give my horse to do mentally, to focus on, and physically, to help redirect the thought so that he can find a safe place? We also have deer over there. I don't know if you can see them. And the more that we offer what I call that positive alternative, where we are helping the horse start to be able to find a softer response in those moments of dysfunction, the more that we are building their trust, the more that we are building a rapport for the horse to be able to check in with the human when they're not sure. But if all we do is critique the horse in the moment of their chaos and meltdown, they're already mentally gone, they're emotionally triggered, they're physically full of tension, and if all we say is, no, don't do that, and we use harsh training practices or communication because we don't like how the horse is responding, we are not helping that horse. We are not teaching him skills to navigate whatever unexpected things may come up in the future. And, you know, helping that horse learn to think through scenarios, which is an unnatural response, slow down, think, and then decide, is something that I think is crucially overlooked. And honestly, a majority of the horses that you see at the sales and in the slaughter pipeline are because the human failed them in offering a lack of education, and the horse could not function, and the level of dysfunction created unrealistic, we'll say, coping behaviors, and the humans didn't want to deal with it or were overwhelmed to deal with it, and so the horse pays the consequence.